Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin, your Superman news report recapping the events of the week May 22nd to May 28th, 2015. Our top news stories this week included: the never-made Justice League Mortal film is getting a documentary, the Supergirl pilot episode leaks online, and the end of Convergence sets up a new DC multiverse in the comic books. Let's check out these stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, the July 2015 edition of the Empire magazine includes free Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice posters inside. The posters are replicas of the Batman and Superman posters given out during the IMAX event for the screening of the teaser trailer. Pick up your copy of Empire magazine at your local newsstand. Warner Bros. Home Entertainment, Warner Bros. Animation, DC Entertainment and the LEGO Group have released the first trailer for the upcoming animated movie LEGO DC Comics Superheroes Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom.
Hello, former rulers of the world. I, Lex Luthor, leader of the Legion of Doom, declare the immediate surrender of the world's governments.
The most powerful supervillains have teamed up in an all-new LEGO movie.
This is Area 52. It is full of advanced alien technology
to take over the world.
Legion of Doom, prepare for evil.
You guys got new outfits! Superman! You're wearing your underwear on the inside? Nice choice. Flash and Hal, you haven't changed a bit. Why mess with perfection? Am I right, princess?
Okay, sit down, both of you.
The trouble alert. Justice League, this is Area 52. We are under attack.
What's the word, Chief?
The word, Flash, is go.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Truck!
Welcome to your defeat, Justice League.
Villains working together?
I did not see that coming.
I did.
But in mankind's darkest hour,
Let the conquest of the Earth begin.
heroes will assemble.
Let's go, team.
Justice will assemble.
Now let's show them what we got.
And evil will disassemble.
Little did you suspect that I designed the Bat Gorilla battlesuit for just such an occasion.
Destroy him!
The Legion of Doom will have your head! Tails, you lose!
Disco missiles! In your face!
LEGO DC Comics Superheroes Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom.
We kicked their butts up high.
Look for it on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital HD.
LEGO DC Comics Superheroes Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom will be released August 25th on digital HD, DVD and Blu-ray combo pack. It seems that the story behind failed DC Comics movie projects is a popular theme for documentary makers, with a feature-length documentary on the never-made Justice League Mortal film by Mad Max Fury Road director George Miller currently being planned. Justice League Mortal was set to star DJ Katrona as Superman, Armie Hammer as Batman, and Megan Gale as Wonder Woman. The writers' strike in 2007, as well as a change in tax break advantages in Australia, resulted in the project being cancelled. In a video interview with Digital Spy, San Andreas director Brad Payton revealed that he really wants to make a Superman movie.
Superman, I really like the juxtaposition. It's cool that, you know, the strongest guy in the room can be the flub at work. And I always find it so tragic and such a phenomenal concept that Lois Lane loves Superman but doesn't look at Clark Kent. I just think that is such a phenomenal aspect of a character dynamic. And yeah, that would be obviously unbelievably
If you had
exciting.
a shot at Superman, that would be...
It's just like, how could you not take that shot? You know what I mean? Like, it's Superman.
Yeah,
like,
right.
In TV news, the complete pilot episode of the Supergirl TV series leaked online on Friday. There's quite a lot of speculation as to how and why the full pilot episode was allowed to be released online 6 months ahead of its official release in November on CBS. The leaked pilot, which runs for 46 minutes, does not contain any network identifiers or watermarks that can be seen, or any of the usual property of warnings that accompany screener copies the network may have handed out to reviewers or employees. Very curious indeed. E-Online posted a video from the recent CBS upfronts where Supergirl stars Melissa Benoist, Mehcad Brooks and Kyla Lee spoke about the upcoming series, including whether or not there'll ever be a crossover between The Flash, Arrow and Supergirl, and what it was like for Melissa Benoist when she first tried on the Supergirl costume.
But the second I put it on, something shifts inside of me, and it's kind of impossible not to feel strength and empowerment and positivity and hope. Like it really is pretty surreal. And there were days on set where I would look down and look at these guys and be like, where am I? Like, what are we doing here?
In comic book news, comicbookresources.com spoke with Action Comics creators Greg Pak and Aaron Kuder to find out what's in store for Clark Kent in the post-Convergence Truth arc set to begin with issue number 41. Greg Pak said, there is a whole new look, a whole new power set or power levels, and a whole new status quo. The world has changed and Clark is going to have to deal in a big way. Everything has changed, so it's a huge challenge for Clark and all of the supporting cast, and it's going to be a huge amount of fun to explore. With the 8th and final issue of the Convergence saga released this week, the conclusion to this 2-month event appears to have dramatic effects on the DC multiverse heading into June. IGN.com published an interesting article which delves into the possible ramifications brought about by Convergence, with 2 splash pages showcasing the DC multiverse as it now exists. For the 4th week in a row, DC Comics released more 10-page sneak peeks for a number of their June comic books, including Superman, Superman Wonder Woman, and Justice League. If you head to our website now, you can read these original 8-page standalone stories for these comic books. DC says these aren't pages from the June issues, rather they're original short stories that set up what awaits you next month. Comic books we reviewed this week included Convergence number 7, which was reviewed by Jeremiah Bohr, who said, this edition of Convergence has some nice moments, but is still light on story, and he rated this a 2 out of 5. James Lance reviewed Convergence Adventures of Superman number 2, giving it a 4 out of 5, saying, this chapter is still one of the better ones in the Convergence event, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Convergence Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes number 2 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who said this tie-in suffers from an overall lack of care, creativity, and basic love of the characters, and he gave this a 3 out of 5 score. T.A. also reviewed Injustice Year 4 Chapter 3, giving it a 4 out of 5, calling it a step up from the last 2 installments. Superman comics available this week from May 27th include Injustice Year 4 Chapter 4 digital comic has been available since May 26th. Convergence number 8, which is available in a variant Tony S. Daniel cover, a Jill Thompson variant cover, and a John Romita Jr. Superman sketch variant cover. Convergence Action Comics number 2 is also available in a variant cover. Convergence Booster Gold number 2 is available in a variant cover. Convergence Crime Syndicate number 2 is also available in a variant cover. Convergence Detective Comics number 2 is also available in a variant cover. Injustice Gods Among Us Year 4 number 2 print edition. And Multiversity Pax Americana Director's Cut number 1. Here are some of the very latest Superman collectibles available now and in the month ahead. Get yourself a pack of Superman Retro playing cards for just $7.17. Or how about this metal hybrid configuration Superman figure for $110.28. These and other great new Superman collectibles are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, Candice Payton, best known to superhero fans as Iris West in the hit TV series The Flash, will also be heading to Metropolis, Illinois next month to be a special guest at the 2015 Superman celebration. Candice will be appearing on Saturday, June 13th at the Celebrity Autograph Sessions at the Baymont Theatre. An autograph session ticket will be required to meet her. For more information on how to obtain tickets to the Celebrity Autograph Session, visit supermancelebration.net. Later in the week it was announced that John Shea, best known for playing Lex Luthor in the Lois and Clark TV series, is also attending the 2015 Superman celebration. John will be appearing on Friday, June 12th and Saturday, June 13th at the Autograph Zone. No tickets are required to meet him, although there may be a charge for autograph and photo opportunities. Again, visit supermancelebration.net for further details. Warner Bros. Consumer Products and DC Entertainment announced the launch of the all-new Scooby-Doo.com, LooneyTunes.com and DCKids.com websites, 3 new entertainment destinations for kids that will engage fans with all their favourite Warner Bros. Characters and DC Comics superheroes in a dynamic immersive experience featuring original content. DCKids.com will feature DC Comics' most iconic superheroes, including Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman and more, in exciting games and interactive ways to play. Original digital shorts from Batman Unlimited and DC Superfans will be featured on the site as well. This past weekend, Six Flags Over Texas celebrated the opening of their new 4D interactive dark ride experience named Justice League Battle for Metropolis. Guests are part of the action as they fight alongside Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash and the rest of the Justice League team to stop Lex Luthor and the Joker from their diabolical plan to take control of Metropolis. Funko announced the upcoming release of their DC Mopedes line, which features characters from Superman, Batman and Justice League. These 4.5-inch plush figures are weighted on the bottom to retain a slouchy posture and adorable frustration. Look for the DC Mopedes line to be available in August. Episode 125 of Radio KAL, the monthly podcast of the Superman homepage, is now available to listen to. In this month's podcast, Scotty and I discuss the Batman v Superman promotional art, Doomsday rumours, the Supergirl extended trailer, the Supergirl pilot leaking online, Superman number 40, Justice League number 40, Divergence, Convergence, DCU campaign, the upcoming Superman celebration, our Superman homepage meet and greet, and much more. Check it out at supermanhomepage.com/radio. And that's all the news there was for the week May 22nd to May 28th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Convergent episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So we're coming down to the wire on the Convergence. We're coming down to the mystery being solved as to what's going to happen at the end of this major storyline from DC. Steve and I from the Superman homepage did our radio show this week, which is the Superman KAL podcast. We do it at the end of every month. Check it out on supermanhomepage.com, where we talked quite a bit about Convergence and quite a bit about our thoughts on why it happened and what it means and how it went down and what's coming up next. Not too long ago, I discussed how I'm not that miffed about the fact that Superman is going to be wearing a t-shirt and jeans and some boots in the next edition of his costume, because I don't think that that's a costume. I had a fan write me that he doesn't agree with me because it's not particularly super of him to be wearing a t-shirt. Anybody can wear a t-shirt. I can wear a t-shirt. You can wear a t-shirt. We can have an S on us. That doesn't make us a Superman. No, of course not. But Superman is Superman, even if he's without his powers. He's still the person who was Superman. So the essence of him, the idea that he's going to keep up a never-ending fight, even if he doesn't have his costume, is what I was referring to when I said I still thought it was heroic and inspiring. I don't think the costume should last. I'm not saying he should continue to wear a t-shirt and jeans. I just think as part of whatever's coming up here, it might be interesting to find out why he's wearing that. And it's not going to happen for too long. Now, what Steve and I were discussing on the podcast this month was, is this just another event in the New 52 Superman's life that has been pretty much event after event without a whole lot of character building, and the idea that we haven't had good stories. We haven't had things that were compelling happen about Superman. We've just had this new Superman in kind of an armored suit, missing the briefs, and not really being the Superman that fans want Superman to be. A lot of people continuing to come out and say, this isn't Superman. This guy isn't acting like Superman. And now you have Lois doing things like revealing his identity, and now the whole world knows who he is. So is somehow, even though Convergence is going to wrap up, before we finish this truth arc, and before we see how he gets his new costume or new clothing that he's wearing, Convergence is already going to be over, which is this battle of the multiverse and this thing going on. But then we have the Dark Side War coming up, and we have, as I say, the truth arc happening in Superman comics. Is that going to be a continuation of what happened in Convergence? In other words, now that the multiverse is shattering, as Dr. Fate here says in this panel, and of course we see the version of Superman where he is wearing the briefs, because we've got multiverse versions of all the characters. Are we then somehow going to merge all these characters, or somehow going to take an amalgam of pieces of each universe and put them together into one, as Telos is going to tell us how these people are going to end up looking the way they look, or are we just going to go back to the New 52? Now, initially, when DC announced that they were going to take the New 52 moniker off the title of all their comics starting in June, they did say that the continuity was still going to continue. But would they want to tell us right then that it was going to end, since that's what Convergence is all about? If that is what it's about, they wouldn't want to tell us that. They would want us to get to the end of the story ourselves. I think it's a little bit of a cop-out to just end the New 52 in that manner, but if they get back to some stories and some characters that people love, the Lois Lane that people love, the Superman that people love, and they get back to good storytelling, it won't matter in the end. It'll become a wash. But is the New 52 a colossal failure? Is it one of these things that people are going to talk about in the future and say, see what DC said? They were changing their entire line, and it was going to be the New 52 from now on. And then 4 years later, when it didn't really work out all that well, they announced that they were just going to go back to what it was. It's kind of like everyone got annoyed that their versions of the characters were ending, but at the time, pre-New 52 comics, nobody was all that thrilled about Superman comics anyway. We did the Grounded arc. There wasn't that much great going on. People were complaining that the stories weren't that great. It seemed to me that most of the fans who weren't happy about the New 52 weren't happy because Superman's costume was changing, which is interesting because we have another time now where his costume is going to change. And I can just imagine the people at editorial, not to say they're doing a great job, not to say they're doing a terrible job, but I just imagine them saying, look at this, we announced that Superman was going to be wearing an armor suit, he was going to be coming from Krypton, he was going to be more Kryptonian, he was going to be more alien, his parents were already going to be dead, he wasn't going to have as many connections to humanity, he wasn't going to be married to Lois, Jimmy was going to be his only friend, and Lois is his best friend, although it never really got anywhere with that. We said it from the beginning, they were best friends, they really knew each other, but there wasn't really a whole lot of interaction between Clark and Lois in the New 52. They announced all of this, people said, armored suit, why does Superman need armor? It was ceremonial, but it also had function because it wouldn't get destroyed in battle, and now they're getting rid of the armor, and people are complaining and saying, this isn't a Superman suit, what kind of a thing is this? And I agree to that extent, but I also liked the New 52 suit, I also liked the original suit. The pants on the outside has always been a sticking point for Superman and non-Superman fans. And are they necessary? I don't think so. Is it necessary that it has to be cloth as opposed to armor, especially if it's either based on or directly made from the fortress in conjunction with what the costumes, what the armor, what the ceremonial outfits look like on Krypton? It makes sense that he would wear something like that. If it's made that way, so what? But now he's not going to have that, and there are just as many issues with that. So, at the end of truth, the point I'm trying to make is, are we going to see the return to the more classic costume that people really like, or are we going to go back to the New 52 costume minus the briefs, or are we going to have a new costume altogether? It seems like Superman and other characters have been getting new costumes constantly on a regular basis, month after month, whether it takes a couple of years or a couple of months. It just seems like it's constant changing, even since the New 52 happened. The New 52 was a big change. It was supposed to be the future. It was supposed to be a starting point for everybody. And I don't think a lot of new people are going, oh, it's the New 52 now. Now I'm going to buy. An arc like Truth, where they put out this sneak peek that's free, where you see that Lois Lane is going to reveal Superman's identity. Maybe that's going to get readers, or maybe that's going to get old readers who left back. I don't know, because most people are up in arms that Lois would do something like that. I'm interested to see why it happened, and how it's going to resolve itself, and I'd like to see us get back to some really compelling, interesting Superman stories. I haven't read a whole lot that was great. Convergence was a mishmash of really confusing stuff that didn't make a whole lot of sense, and you got to wonder, did they just do this so that they could cover their move from New York City to L.A., because that's where the DC company is moving to. They had their headquarters right in New York City, and now they're going to be in L.A., and this was something that could kind of get them through that without having to worry about too many story things. They had this one idea, and they just kind of ran it out, and it's one thing after another, but no real resolution, no real start to any of the stories, except for the main Convergence title, which is about characters that nobody really knows. You know, there's a Batman, there's a Superman, but they're not the Batman and Superman people were looking for, but it looks like they're all going to come together as we reach the end, and that's kind of interesting to see, all of them finally working together when it looked like Talos was going to make them fight and kill each other, and so many people were acting out of character in order to do that. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to find out where it goes from here, and hopefully, most importantly, where it's not briefs versus armor, or T-shirt versus bloody fists, It's more about, to me, that we get good, interesting, cool Superman stories again, and I hope that happens soon. Thanks for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky. This is the part where I say I don't wanna, I'm stronger than ever. This is the part where I break free, 'cause I just can't take it no more.